Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Beginning of a new year. Interesting, right? As we wait for some of those to join us, just take a deep breath. Mute your phones. That's what I'm doing. I just remembered. Oh. Welcome. As you enter this space for you, for us, just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and allow all things from this morning to just fall away. Hello, beautiful, whoever you are. So I am using, I'm in something called StreamYard. And at the bottom of the post in Facebook, if that's where you're joining from, you should be able to see, there should be a link possibly that says I'm using StreamYard to go live. All you have to do is click on that and it will let me see. It's Brianne. I just flipped back over to Facebook. It will let me see who is actually commenting. So today, for those of you that are new to me, I'm Tammy Lee. I'm a magical shift maker and way shower. I do a lot of energy medicine work, helping people to retrieve fragmented pieces of their soul, helping to clear the land, helping to raise up souls that are stuck and help them to go home to where they once came from. I work with different beings from different dimensions, aspects, and realities. And together we create, you and me, girls, you and me, and all these other beings, together we create a new reality, the reality that we want to live with, we want to live from, we want to live within. And that's some of the work that we do together is we go within. And one of the things that I wanted to share today that reminded me, I was listening to an old mentor of mine and a former mentor, and he said something really profound. Like, oh yeah. Like, what is that story? What is that experience? And usually it's between 9 and 12, usually in that time frame. And sometimes it can be a little younger, sometimes a little older, but it's in that childhood landscape of when we experience something and we put down the gauntlet and said no more. Or we put down the gauntlet and said, I will be better than that. Or we put down the gauntlet and said, no. It could have been within our mind. It could have been within the experience. Something happened at that time frame. And it got me thinking, because see, I grew up around a lot of chaos. People call it dysfunctional. And I was men and boys took advantage of my body. Okay? I guess that's a good way of saying it. I have experienced I have had different experiences where men and boys have attempted to or did take advantage of me and my body. Even as much as in junior high, walking down the hallway and boys trying to grab at my breast because I was very well endowed at a very young age. I started wearing a bra in 3rd grade. And I was reminded of this experience by that question. What in our life, in that kind of age frame, really created a trajectory for us? And I realized and I want you to think about this, because usually that's the part of ourselves that we have maybe shamed, disconnected from, felt bad of, that part of ourselves. So I still remember being in 3rd grade. My mom got me a bra. No other girl in our class wore a bra. And it wasn't these sports bras that the little girls wear. It was an actual bra that had the little clips, that had in the back, that boys like to snap. And I remember sitting there in class, paying attention to the teacher, and this boy sitting behind me, Steve, snapped my bra and announced to the whole class, "Tammy's wearing a bra. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And I started being made fun of. I started being made fun of to the point, people would call it bullying nowadays. But I was made fun of so much because I wore a bra. I started to retreat within. I started to close myself down. You know how, have you ever done this, ladies? Have you ever tried to hide yourself and you curl in your shoulders and you just and you kind of slouch and you just walk along and you just try to hide yourself, but there's no hiding. There's really no hiding. But I was thinking about that experience and how, oh my goodness, that's when I started to lose who I was. I started to fragment off. I didn't want that kind of attention. Right? I had an uncle that took advantage of me, more than one. I had neighborhood boys in the grade school age from 3rd grade to 6th grade that attacked me, tried to get my clothes off. My little sister even broke into our house while my mom was at work during the summer. That's not the kind of attention I wanted. But that's the kind of attention I attracted for some reason and didn't know better at that age. And I realized this yesterday. That is when I started to lose a part of me. Because I felt shame. I felt shame because of my body. And I had sisters that thought I wanted that attention, that were jealous. Even my mom was jealous of how I was showing up. of how I was. Okay, let me rephrase that. That doesn't make sense, right? There was even jealousy from my mom. Because I was the cute girl. But I was getting attention the wrong way. And that's when I realized, I just realized this yesterday. That is when I started to hide a part of me. Because I didn't know how to handle that kind of attention. And girls, really, are we even taught that? Maybe nowadays. Because I make sure I taught my girls. Or so I think I did. But I'm even more aware now, being 59 years old. I remember the thought form, the thought, the projections, the thought projections that other people would put on me. Like, I realize that now, but not knowing it then. Is when I was, when I was 14, still a virgin, I was out with a guy older than me. This guy drops me off. My dad pulls me out of the car by my hair, kicking me in the ass with a pointed cowboy boot, by the hair, taking me across the street, because he pulled me out of the car by my hair, walking me across the street, kicking me the whole time in my ass with his pointed cowboy boots, across the street, up the driveway, down the sidewalk, up the steps, into the house, and says, "Get out of my face." But the whole time he's kicking me in the ass, yelling at me, calling me a slut and a whore. I mean, he was in rage. Now, I can tell this story now without crying. There's still a little bit of emotion there. I've not told this story in a very long time. I think it's actually could be in my book, The Second Start, Finding Joy in the New You. But I just, so like there was another part of me right there and then that was also fragmented off. There was guilt and shame that was instilled within me for being out late with a boy that was older than me. So like a month later or so, my older sister's boyfriend, I ended up being alone with him, thinking he was a nice guy, and he raped me. And I froze. What is that? Fight, flight, or freeze. I absolutely froze. Could not move, could not say no. Like I was like stone. But it didn't matter to him. And he raped me. But I heard in my head, that's what you get. That's what a slut and a whore gets. So see that experience with my dad broke something within me. I could feel a break. I could feel a break, and I did not understand that. There was a fracture that happened within me. And it's taken me many years and a lot of searching and a lot of deep diving within me to help heal those fractures, to actually pull back. Because sometimes we forget about these different situations in our life. Sometimes we forget. We don't even want to remember. But when we work on ourselves internally, we can remember those experiences without being fully taken out by them. Meaning we grow in our emotional intellect, in our emotional maturity, to where then we can look at this and like, oh, that little girl, she's still so scared because I haven't worked with her yet. And that instant, like the bra snapping in school, the shame, she thought that was really shameful. To work with that part of me, that little girl within me, and I don't know what 3rd grade is. I think that might be 9 years old. But to work with her and let her know that she is safe and to feel embraced by me. Now, some of you ladies know how to do this, right? To welcome those fragmented pieces of ourselves back home so we can become whole. Yes. So we can become whole. Because there are women wanting to create, whether it's create different things in their lives, whether it's business, whether it's attracting a relationship, whatever it is, but there's a standoff. There's something that's not allowing oneself to fully manifest that. So I want us to think about, where are we fractured, that part of us we need to bring back home. That there's a part of us that might be scared, might be hesitant of the success, of the attention it will bring us, of being ridiculed. Do you follow me so far? Is this making sense? This is so vital in our growth, in our becoming home, coming home to ourselves, that we require to think about those times, those places of where we could have been fractured. To say, hello, darling. I see you, to that part of us. I am here. I'm not going anywhere. And embrace that part of us. And let that part of us that is outside of us yet, that has been fractured off, that didn't even know it was welcome to come back home. Didn't even know it was welcome to come back home. There are so many fragmented pieces of us that are waiting for us to say hello. Actually, that are waiting for us to say, I see you. There are so many fragmented pieces of us that are waiting for us to say, I see you. I hear you. It wants to feel the embrace from us. It wants to hear our yes to welcoming it to come back home. To come back home. Because one of the main, what's the word? One of the biggest pieces of our work, women, is to become whole in this lifetime, which helps us to become sovereign in this lifetime, which helps us to be interdependent instead of codependent upon something else, someone else outside of us. Do you understand that? Let me know. Go ahead and type in the text, in the chat. To be interdependent, to be that sovereign being. Now, it might not feel good to remember those instances where you're like, oh, damn, I was fragmented then. I got to go back into that situation in my imagination, in my heart space, and welcome that little part of me back home. So just take a deep breath. You can do this with me now. Take a deep breath. And take that breath down into your heart. And imagine that part of you. For me, it's that third grader. And I'm with her in the classroom. And I'm with her as she's feeling the shame of getting her bra snapped, of being made fun of hanging her head low, and gently raising her chin up so her eyes can meet mine. So she knows and she feels, I see you. I see you. So she can even get out of her desk and have that embrace where she knows she's safe. That no matter what anybody says about her, anybody does to her, she can come home. She can come home. She feels the yes within me, welcoming me welcoming her to come home. And there's going to be another part. There's going to be forgiveness part. Forgiveness. Yeah. Of the naughty little boys. Till now, but man, that's still, I mean, honestly, I still have, and it's okay if you cannot forgive right now, because I will tell you, like, I think it was like the summer right before I started 6th grade. I don't know, it's like that time frame. Summer before the summer after. Where in 6th grade I already wore a C cup. And there were some neighborhood boys that broke into her house and came in through the windows, broke the front door, screen door handle, got in, and got me down. I know there was 5 for sure, because there was a boy in each arm and each leg, each ankle, each wrist, holding me down while another boy tried to take my clothes off. Thank goodness I had overall shorts on, because he couldn't get the buckles. Now these same boys, and okay, so what saved me was my little sister coming in swinging a bat, telling them boys to get off of me. Did we tell our mom? No. No. We even lied to her about the door handle being broke. Because back in that time frame, it was always the girls' fault. Well, what did you girls do to make the boys do that? Well, you girls must have been teasing the boys. You know, it's always the girls' fault if something happened to them. And their dad was a cop who was later dismissed from being a cop because he broke the law. So these boys grew up thinking they could do no wrong because they got away with everything. We as girls never felt safe to tell our truth. Case in point, how many times have we never felt safe to tell our truth? And that wasn't the first and only time. They also did, like, attack me in our garage 2 different times. I didn't even remember that until my little sister told me that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. So, and I will tell you, yes, I know forgiveness is a huge thing, but there's still a little something within me that can't forgive. That no matter how much I work with it, just is not there to forgive Brian, the number 1 guy that led the group. He's what, 2 years older than me, and sometimes I'll see him out in the public. I'm like, okay, you're a bigger person, but you know what? Honestly, ladies, there's a part of me that wants to go up and slap him. There's a part of me that wants to go up and punch him in the stomach. There's a part of me that wants to cuss him out. So we have to also be honest and truthful with ourselves. Honest and truthful with ourselves. Of when we bring these fragmented soul pieces back to us, feeling that yes within our heart. And also when we like, okay, can I forgive? Like, I can forgive that little kid in 3rd grade, no big deal. But see, from 3rd grade to 6th grade, all this other stuff was happening into, here and there. And so there's things that I can forgive, and I have. And I do the forgiveness practice that I taught my clients. And there's some things that there's just still a no in there. And to be okay with our no. To not shame it, to not guilt it, to allow that no within us to come forth, be heard, be felt. That no is very powerful. To allow that no to exist, to show up. Right? Can you feel that? Those of you that can feel energy, can you feel that? allowing our nose, N-O, to have a voice. And allowing yourself to be okay if you cannot fully forgive yet. Allow yourself to be okay with you for not being able to fully forgive yet. This is something we never want to force. This is something we want to work with. And what I have found that a lot of times that goes back into other lifetimes, other dimensions, other realities, into the Akasha of where that no exists. Because it wants to show us a bigger picture. It wants to show us a bigger picture. It wants to work with us. Take a deep breath with that. Yes, energy is moving. Energy is moving. So what story, what experience do you have that maybe you've forgotten about, where you know it has changed the trajectory in your life? Now, since third grade, oh, wow. Okay, I know I got distracted. There's a hawk out in our front yard. So see, there is something right now, truth with this. For a hawk to show up in our front yard, I'm like, that's no bird I've ever seen. There is truth with this. So just take that in. Just allow that. It's a powerful sign energetically. That's a powerful sign. I've never seen one that close to our home. Wow, what a gift. What a gift. Okay. So I encourage you, ladies. I encourage anyone that's listening to this, here live or on the replay, to look at the different experiences within your life, especially in your earlier childhood, that may have changed the trajectory of your life and where it went. See, one of the things, wow, now this is bringing up emotion. When I first got pregnant, when at the age of 17, one of the biggest things was I will keep my kids safe. Did that always happen? No, it did not. No, it did not. But because of what happened to me in my early childhood, that was a major factor in my motherhood. And so the times that I did not keep them safe, that's where the mama guilt plagued me in layers that I did not even know about. and allowing myself to forgive myself. Even going to my children and asking for forgiveness from them. And allowing them to speak their truth with me, even if they wanted to yell at me. Allowing them to do that, to speak their truth and not take it personally. Because they couldn't beat me up any more than I could beat myself up. We're usually our worst critics, right? So I wanted to share this with you today. So you look at that earlier childhood time and you really dive in to see the stories, to see the experiences of what changed your trajectory, what influenced you to be where you're at, to be in your adulthood, the job, the how you lived your adulthood. What is it that influenced you? Were you fragmented at that time in your life? Is there a part of you that fractured off, that desires to come back home? Is there forgiveness in there that still needs to happen? And being okay with yourself if you cannot quite forgive yet. There's a lot of food for thought here. There's some homework here too, if you desire to do it. And if you need help, just reach out. You can actually book a 30-minute free consultation with me. The link is right above this video. Let's keep this conversation going on inside our Facebook group. Because ladies, do you know, when you share it, you actually give permission for other women to come forth and share also. Did you know that? That you, yes, darling, you can be the shining light for somebody else that you may never know by sharing, by posting. You can. You absolutely can. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me today. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here for you. Much love. Much, much love to you.